day is finally here. You're looking live as the total solar eclipse begins to take shape. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for our Solar Eclipse Live special. I'm Anna Darling.
I'm Chelsea Helms.
Howdy, I'm Chad Mira. This is the day. We've been waiting for this forever. You heard Dan earlier say he's been waiting 7 years for this.
Yep.
The state's been preparing, and we've been preparing some really special coverage
Yep.
today. We have team coverage across the state for the 2024 Total Solar Eclipse.
Our Brianna Moore is in Paris, Arkansas for us. Casey Smith live in Fayetteville, Kayla Cade in Bentonville, and Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff is live for us in the path of totality in Russellville. We're actually going to go right ahead and start with Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Dan, the Arkansas Department of Transportation estimating that about 1.5 million people were coming here to Arkansas to view this total solar eclipse. That's about half our population that we have here. So I want to hear from you because I know you've been out there all day today. Who are you seeing and where are they coming from?
Oh, I have talked to people, someone from Poland, a bunch of astronomers, Chelsea, Chad, Anna from Poland. We also have several residents from California that made their trip. Now, I was on KNWA today this morning, early morning, 5 o'clock, still going on adrenaline, but we are so excited. There are people from all over the country and even all over the world that are coming to the natural state to experience a spectacle that is fairly rare. In fact, the next one that's happening is not until 2044 for the northern continental United States. And for the natural state, the next one is 2045. Now, we got you set up. You know, I'm kind of a little bit of a weather geek and also a science geek and maybe an amateur astronomer as well. We've got some telescopes here where we are going to be tracking the sun, giving you a live view of what we call first contact. We also got another telescope that'll give you a wider view, so you'll be able to see the corona. And here's kind of a little bit of a view of what the sun looks like right now. So there is no part of the moon that's starting to get covered. It actually looks like maybe a little bit of that southeastern limb of the sun is just now starting to get covered by the sun, and we can actually bring that up on our feed here. We'll be able to do that throughout the day as that solar eclipse takes shape. It's going to take a little while for it to cross all the way over the sun. At 1:50, we are going to be experiencing totality in Northwest Arkansas. You have to make sure you wear those solar eclipse glasses, those ISO approved solar eclipse glasses, because you'll need them the entire time in the path of totality. Look at that. Everyone, we've got first contact right as expected. This is the beginning of the total solar eclipse, and it only gets better from here. Chad, Chelsea, Anna, we're going to send it on back to you. We're live from Russellville at the soccer complex.
You guys, I am having so much fun out here in Paris. I actually just finished hosting the costume contest. It was absolutely amazing. Had over 10 kids that participated, and I actually have my friend Cortland here right now. Cortland, give us a 360. Woo! Yes, Cortland. All right, so explain your costume to the viewers.
So since the sun and moon are colliding to make the solar eclipse, I decided to do half sun, half moon.
Okay, awesome. So do you mind telling the viewers, I know that you're from this area, but how excited are you to see so many people, including people from the real Paris, France, here in your hometown?
I am so excited. I was actually just looking at the board. There's some people from Hawaii, Canada, all over.
Well, what are you most excited about for this total eclipse?
This eclipse, of course. I mean, it's going to get dark. The bees are going to be mad. The animals are going to be a little weird for a little bit, but you know, it's going to be really fun.
Well, tell me, how long have you been anticipating this day? It's so much fun, right?
I've been waiting since I was 7 years old when that last one ended.
Oh, I love it, girl. You are prepared and ready. Let's go ahead and give us one more spin for us, Cortland. Okay, awesome, you guys. Well, we are having so much fun out here. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you guys at the desk.
Awesome, Brianna. Her outfit was fantastic. I loved her interpretation of the eclipse there. Now, if you plan to check out the eclipse, make sure you have a pair of glasses that comply with the international safety standards. And you'll know that because it'll say right here on the inside of your glasses, it has an ISO mark on that. So if you don't have a pair, though, keep in mind, it's only safe to look at the sun during totality, which only makes up a few minutes of the eclipse. Jordan Berger tells us more.
It's important to be wearing these appropriately, not down like this, like you're acting like a cool, or up by here, you know.
Even though you may remember some of the do's and don'ts of eclipse viewing from Mid-Missouri's last total solar eclipse back in 2017, eye surgeon Dr. James Landreneau says it doesn't hurt to go back over the basics of eclipse eye care.
I tell patients as a refresher to make sure they're wearing protective sunglasses. If they are going to be viewing this, to limit the exposure, like do 1 to 2 minutes of viewing at a time and then look away.
And you may think you're prepared, particularly if you plan to reuse those Eclipse glasses you may have gotten 7 years ago. But eye care professionals say to think twice.
It's recommended to purchase new glasses, and then if there's any types of scratches, even a fold in the material can be significant enough that it can not offer you the full protection, but a little kink in it is enough to make it so it's not up to the standard of what's called the ISO guidelines.
Some older Eclipse viewing glasses made before 2015 have expiration dates as well. But even if your Eclipse viewers don't expire, Dr. Landreneau says it's a good idea to find yourself a new pair out of an abundance of caution.
They're about $5. It's probably safer, especially whenever you're considering that this could be permanent eye loss, to just purchase new glasses.
If you aren't sure whether your glasses are up to the approved standard, here's a way to check. Real Eclipse glasses will have curved lenses that are reflective and extremely dark, rather than transparent ones that look just like sunglasses.
Even if you have sunglasses on, it's not recommended to look at the sun with those. They're just supposed to give you a little bit of UV protection. But in this case, if you're doing direct viewing of the sun, you need something stronger.
Now, if you cannot get your hands on a pair of approved glasses, there are other safe methods. First, check out the shadows left by the leaves on the trees. As the moon begins its trek across the sun, the leaves will cast a crescent-shaped shadow. You can also use a colander. Just hold it above the ground and check out those shadows. And you can also make yourself an eclipse box using something like an empty cereal box. Our chief meteorologist, Dan Scoff, has a tutorial on how you can make one right now on our website, knwa.com.
Not too late to go out there. I know a lot of the libraries have those glasses too if you're looking for a last minute spot to go. Well, here's some other parts of the region that are going to be experiencing the path of totality. They're going to start in Clarksville. That's in Johnson County. Totality expected to begin at 1:50. It'll last about 3.5 minutes there. Then in Poda, Oklahoma, totality will begin just before 1:49. It's only going to last a minute in that spot. Just a few miles south of Heavener, Oklahoma, totality begins at 1:48. There it'll be about 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
There are two things you're going to want to look out for as the eclipse gets closer to totality. Take a look at your screen. The first is Bailey's beads. So this occurs just before the moon completely blocks out the sun. You're kind of seeing this graphic take shape to give you an idea of exactly what you're going to be looking for. It really leaves some small beads of sunlight on the edge there. This is a cool tidbit you're going to want to know about. It is named after English astronomer Francis Bailey, who first explained the phenomenon all the way back, you guys, in 1836. The other phenomenon you may be able to see, take a look, a diamond ring effect. We all want one of these beautiful diamond rings on our finger, right? It happens towards the beginning of the end of totality. So yes, the beginning toward the end of totality when the moon moves in front of the sun, but a small sliver of light remains on one edge of the sun. Sometimes you even get a double diamond ring effect. So make sure you keep your eye out for that. And really your eye under your glasses. If you're not in totality, that's something keep your eye out towards the sky as long as you have the glasses on. But when you're in totality, you can take them off.
Well, this is very fitting because a lot of people are getting married during this eclipse.
Yes,
there's going to be a lot of love in the air. And I feel like it's very special that we're going to have this totality and the diamond ring effect. It just makes it really fun.
And they say it gets so bright towards the end of the diamond ring effect that actually you've got to put your glasses back on because it's almost too unbearable for your eyes.
Yeah, you think you can have them off there, and you can during the totality, but the second that sun starts to pop back out, you want to slip them back on.
You got to slip them back on. Now, we're talking about how a lot of our coverage area here is not in the path. We do have a couple spots in the path of totality. Come 2045, you guys, when the next one is coming towards our way, Arkansas right in the middle of that path of totality.
Unbelievable.
And Northwest Arkansas will be hit in several different spots. So
amazing.
A lot of you not going to have to leave home. I know some of you who are joining us just decided, hey, we're going to watch KNWA instead because we're not in the path.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, but that time I don't know how we get so lucky, but
Right?
we'll be in the path of totality for even longer for the next eclipse. So right now it's like a lot of places, a couple minutes there, maybe 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes. I think in Fort Smith specifically. I know Rogers was another hot spot to go next time.
This is the natural state. You got to experience all the natural phenomena here.
Yes.
Well, throughout the show, we'll have some really fun trivia questions for you to answer. The first one, What year did the longest ever recorded solar eclipse happen according to the Guinness World Records? Here's a hint. This eclipse happened in totality in the area of Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. You got 3 answers here. June 20th, 1995, September 22nd, 1968, or July 17th, 1901. You can scan that QR code you see on your screen right now. Let us know what you guys, what year do you guys think? What day are you guys going with, Chad,
All right.
Chelsea?
I've got my phone out, so I'm going to scan this. Let's see if I can get it to work. Chad, where are you going? Because I might have to steal your answer.
I didn't know we were going to be doing a history test here, but I'll go with 1968. I'll go with B.
Okay, I am going to go with 1968 as well because that's what Chad said.
Okay. Well, hey,
but I did hear, I was listening to Mr. Eclipse is his name. He's one of the most famous astronomers in the country. And he was telling me about, well, he wasn't telling me, he was talking about on the podcast I was listening to about how he had went and seen that one in 1968. So I'm going to go with his. Do we know the answer, Anna?
Well, we'll be telling you it a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
So make sure
gotta wait.
and keep tuned in. We'll let you know.
So she already knows. She's kind of making us guess behind the scenes. Well, we're so happy to have you with us today. It's such an exciting day in modern history. And Solar Eclipse Live on KNWA will continue for you after the break.
Northwest Arkansas, unfortunately. If you want to see the totality, you got to travel just a little bit, not too
Yeah.
far. But we get a pretty great show, too. So we're going to stick in Fayetteville for this one.
Yeah, we're heading onto the hill. They're set to be more than 98% coverage here.
That'll be so cool. I think even though we're not getting the full effect, I'm still excited to go out
Of
and
course.
look
Can't
and see what it looks like. But hey, let's head out to our Casey Smith. He's live at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozarks here in Fayetteville. Casey, quite a crowd behind you. How are people feeling and how excited are they for today?
Yeah, hey y'all, as y'all mentioned, 98.55% coverage, nothing to bat an eyelash at. I'm still really excited. And as you were talking about that crowd, we have about 300 people here. That's according to the executive director here at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozarks, all spread out across the lawn facing the sun. There was even a wedding proposal. Anna, you were talking earlier about the love is in the air. Love is in the air here at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozarks. There was a proposal. Yes, she said yes. Well, you'll hear from that happy couple a little bit later in our show. But I mean, my fashion, my sunglasses are always on the back of my head because I lose them all the time. But now I have the certified Dan Scoff approved Eclipse 2024 glasses, as you can see right there. Those are on the back of my head, ready to take in this total solar eclipse here at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozarks. You'll hear from someone with the Ozarks coming up later in the show. But I mean, what a beautiful place to be. There's flowers, great weather. I know we were worried about the clouds kind of clouding up the sky a little bit. Beautiful weather here at the gardens. But for now, let's send things up to Bentonville where we'll find our Kayla Cade.
Yeah, there's lots of people out here in Bentonville Square just walking around with their dogs, with their kids, and they also even are sitting down, brought their picnic chairs or even their blankets to have a picnic, eating their food, chatting with their friends. It's a good time out here. There's even a band behind me. They were just playing music a few minutes ago, and there's also some vendors on my left side selling some clothes, selling some snacks for people to buy and to enjoy. Now, it's a great time here. We're all waiting for that solar eclipse.
Oh my gosh, it's looking like so much fun at all of these places across Northwest Arkansas. Again, we're not in the path of totality, but I think local cities, are still making the very best of it.
Are you okay?
I'm
You're so excited.
I'm just so excited. I've been trying to be able to vote for these different questions you have.
Yes.
You know what, though? You might have noticed, you guys, in a lot of these shots throughout, there's a lot of kids in the background. We even got a kid in the studio here with us today.
I know.
And that is because schools across the area, some of them have decided to close. Specifically, the district of Fayetteville Public Schools, Superintendent Dr. John Mulford says teachers had been requesting today off. Many parents actually had called way ahead of time and said, hey, our kids aren't going to be there on the day of the solar eclipse because we're taking them to see it. So since the district was already scheduled to be out of school April 19th, that day was just switched with today.
There wasn't any reason to have our day off necessarily on the 19th, and so we saw it as a win-win for everybody, students as well as families, and just allow everyone to enjoy the eclipse however they feel is best for them.
Dr. Mulford says the district sent students home with eclipse glasses to use if they do plan to go out and see it. And Chad, I think a good reminder now, because you have your glasses with you, right?
I got them right here.
Can we show people what they need to be looking for? I can hold your iPad if you want.
Okay, so here are a couple of the main things. These can be counterfeited, I guess, if you will, but the ones you want have the round lenses. So you'll notice the edges on these are rounded, and then you want this ISO stamp on there. And specifically this ISO stamp, it looks like a globe with ISO across it. I've seen some copies they were talking about on the Today Show this morning that there's some other ISO symbols on the fake ones. They're getting tricky.
So they're even faking.
They're faking
the standard, credibility standard.
Oh my gosh, that's
a couple
so
of
hard.
things to look for there.
Yeah, Anna, what are you most excited for in terms of the eclipse?
I think I just want to take my glasses off, not look at the sun, but just look around and just see how dark it gets. Because even though we're not in totality and it's not going to get pitch black here in Fayetteville, I think it's just going to be cool to look around and just see how dark it gets.
Yeah.
And I wish we had some trees on our veranda to look through, because I want to see the
crescent shadows.
Yes.
How cool
I feel
does that sound?
That would be really cool to see if you're at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozarks.
That's what I was
or
going to
the
say.
square.
That's why it's so cool where Casey is at the Botanical Garden of the Ozarks, because they have all of the foliage, the flowers, the trees, and you're supposed to, like you were saying earlier in the newscast, instead of being able to look at the sky, you just look at the shadows across the ground.
Yes, there's a lot lot of really fun tricks you can do to still like experience the eclipse and like see it in a different way without directly looking at it. So I think that's really fun.
You still have time to make one of those boxes. I know it's like a
Yes.
cereal box and you need a few other elements, but it's a lot of times just stuff that you'd have at your house anyways.
Yes.
And Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott did a fabulous tutorial. It's on our website, knwa.com, because we still have like almost an hour in some locations to be able to get that done. So maybe a quick little project with you and the kids who are off from school today.
Yeah, really, you just need the box, maybe a piece of tin foil, and a pair of scissors to cut a hole.
Easy.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. Well, hey, maybe we'll be right back after the break with more on what's coming up in the KNWA today, or live solar eclipse coverage.
Well, here with that answer is Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott. He recorded this for us before he went out live with augmented reality. Have you ever experienced a total solar eclipse? Well, the chances are you probably haven't because it is so rare, especially because we are not in the path of totality here. But here's Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott with more.
Have you ever experienced a total solar eclipse? The chances are you probably haven't because they're fairly rare, especially where you live. If you were in the path of totality on August 21st, 2017, then you got to witness the amazing experience of a total solar eclipse, where you see the corona, Bailey's beads, solar prominences, a sky that gets so dark you can see daytime planets. Maybe even the crickets will start chirping. That only happens in totality, and I'll show you where that is in just a bit. First of all, let me show you why an eclipse occurs. We've got to have our three bodies in the solar system. We've got our sun, the moon, and the earth. Now, in this case, you can see how the moonlit side is facing away from the earth. This is known as a new moon, and this is when eclipses occur. We also have to examine the orbit of the moon around the earth. It's an ellipse, meaning it's not a perfect circle. Sometimes it's closer, and sometimes it's farther. Now, the reason that we don't get an eclipse every time that the moon passes in between the earth and the sun is because of a 5-degree tilt of that orbit. So it doesn't line up all that often, but when it does, it's called a node. And if we look at the micromoon that happened on October of 2023, well, that's when we had an annular eclipse, the ring of fire. This is where the moon was too far away from the earth to cover up the entire sun. But on April 8th of 2024, we get to experience a total solar eclipse. This is where you have the moon that's close enough to the earth to cover up the entire sun, known as perigee. If we look at it from a top view, you can see how one place is farther and one place is clearly closer. And we also have to examine our sun. Our sun in our solar system is huge. It's a big star. In fact, it's 400 times the size of our moon, but it's also 400 times as far away. So that means it looks almost the same size from the earth. Now, here's a look at the solar eclipse. You got the solar rays that are shining down on the moon, but that moon is blocking the sunlight to the earth. You got two shadows that you can experience in a total solar eclipse. The penumbra, which is known as the partial eclipse. This is, by the way, what Northwest Arkansas and parts of the river valley are going to experience. But if you're in that path of totality, you get to experience the umbra. This is where you get the complete darkening of the sun as the moon passes in front of the sun. And this is what it would look like if you're standing on Earth in that path of totality, as you get to witness that moon starting to move in front of the sun and cover it up. You get to see corona, Bailey's beads, solar prominences, the diamond ring, and this only happens in the path of totality. So where is that path of totality? Let me show you. On April 8th, 2024, the path of totality is slicing right through Texas, the natural state of Arkansas, and continuing southeast into Missouri. Now, this shadow is going to race across the landscape of the United States at over 1,600 miles per hour. About 1:45, it's going to be nudging into the southwestern corner of Arkansas as it makes its way through the central and northeastern part of the state. It's only going to take a few minutes for it to cross the entire state. We looked at a zoomed out view and you can see why this is such a big deal for Arkansas. Another eclipse like this won't happen until 2045. Now, if you want to learn more about a total solar eclipse, we've got it all included in our jam-packed weather blog. What you need to do to see it, where you need to be. Check and see if your location is in the path of totality. Just visit our knwa.com website, click on the weather tab, click on weather blog, and you can get all the latest information. Also, download our free Weather Authority app for the latest cloud cover forecast as we get closer to that total solar eclipse. Keep it here with your Solar Eclipse Authority.
You know, he gave a pretty good example there, but I think we have another example we can do.
Yeah, it's no augmented reality, but this
hey,
is good.
This is the fashion reality, guys. I'm the moon.
I'm the sun.
So then here's what happens. The moon moves in front of the sun. Chad's got his solar eclipse glasses.
Okay, we're in
Bailey's
totality.
Bailey's beads.
And
We're in totality, so you can ditch the glasses, Chad.
Yeah, so then I move out.
Now we see
on.
the diamond
There's the
ring,
diamond.
right?
Diamond ring. And that's how the
there
total
it
solar
is.
eclipse happens.
Oh, well, we're talking more about the path of totality. Let's head out live to Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott. He is in Russellville. We got to see your demonstration in studio that recorded for us. That was great. Dan, I know you are at a huge elopement event in Russellville. Tons of brides and grooms, going to be husband and wife here shortly.
I know, isn't that incredible, Chelsea, Chad, Anna? It's just an awesome deal. But you can hear Liverpool legends behind me. I'll give you kind of the scene here. Things are going to get underway here shortly at about 1:30, go until 1:45. Over 300 couples going to be eloped here, and people continue to come in. Of course, in the big wedding dresses, they're getting in the shade, obviously, to cool off. But you know what? We're so thankful that the sun is out. It's such a beautiful day. There couldn't be a better condition right now to watch the total solar eclipse. Bright Light, Sight and Sound is putting on the production. Liverpool legends. You know what's really cool? They played Here Comes the Sun as the sun was rising this morning. And it was nice and cool and chilly, but now the temperatures are warming up. So just to let you know where we're at the soccer complex in Russellville. It's kind of a unique, need to be invited to this. You can see the crowds are a little subdued, and there's a reason for that, crowd control. But we're here right in the thick of things. You got food trucks, axe throwing, T-shirts, brides-to-be. Craig Wade Boyd, who is the Season 7 winner of The Voice. We interviewed him live on KWA today and our Fox 24 News at 7 in the morning. And so it was just awesome. He's going to be the officiant that's doing all of this. And I'm going to look at the sun here. We're getting close to that path of totality. It's about maybe 40% covered. At about 1:50, the show really gets underway. So we are super excited. It is a party here in Russellville, and we are ready to go to see totality and witness something that about 1 in 10,000 people have actually seen in their lifetimes. And so we're going to send on back to you in the studio. We'll also be providing more graphics as we get closer. We'll let you know what to expect if you're in the path of totality as we continue Solar Eclipse Live. Back to you guys.
Wedding reception, no one would ever forget there.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, I'm curious, you mentioned people trying to find the shade out there. It's obviously warm right now with the sun, but what's it going to feel like as the eclipse takes form?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people wondering. So it's warm now, and I know the brides are going to be excited when that temperature drops about 10 degrees as it continues to cool off a little bit. Also, there's a little bit of a breeze. The breeze is going to calm down. They're going to stop the music. They're going to stop everything because there's such a stillness. There's such a calm that comes in totality that crickets could even start chirping. It's just such a unique experience. And so that's what you'll be experiencing. There are some high clouds that are streaming in from the southwest, but I think with filtered sunshine, we'll still be able to get a great view. And we're providing it all to you live too. And the big telescope view will continue to show you what it looks like. So it's such an awesome time here. The weather's great. It's a beautiful scene. And I'm excited. I got my whole family here. Thanks to Camp NWA. We made it down to Russellville yesterday. How's that traffic looking like, Chad, Chelsea, on the interstates?
That's a good question. We should try to pull up one of our iDrive Arkansas cameras here so we can get an estimation, because as we were talking about at the top of the show, the Arkansas Department of Transportation was anticipating that about 1.5 million would be coming to Arkansas. And when we're a state of 3 million, that just really puts it into perspective.
I know, but before the show, I was looking at some of those cameras down near Alma on I-40, already a huge backup.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, and the cameras were actually being really slow on our end because I think so many people are trying to access them. You can go ahead and see how difficult it is to get into the path of totality versus when you're driving away from it.
Well, and keep in mind, around the 5 o'clock hour, that's going to be reversed.
Switched. Yep.
Yes, when people are after all the fun and fanfare, it's going to be the other way. So keep that in mind. If you are maybe actually trying to leave work or school or anything, there may be a bit of delay there tonight.
One thing I noticed when I was driving to work, I came in pretty early today. It was about 7:30. That's typically the time, school buses are picking up kids, bringing them to school. Parents are driving to work. There was virtually no traffic, at least within the Fayetteville area. So I'm anticipating a lot more probably come the evening time.
Definitely
People heading home.
Yep.
It'll be fun. All right. Well, let's get back to our trivia question now. I told you guys this earlier. I got a chance to vote. According to the Guinness World Records, when did the longest ever recorded solar eclipse happen? You guys had guessed the B.
A lot of people agreed with us.
A lot of people did. Well,
feel good about that.
Guess what? The answer is actually A,
Chad.
June 20th, 1955.
You led us astray, Chad.
Yeah, never listen to me. Why'd you do that?
This eclipse lasted for more than 7 minutes.
Wow.
And here's another fun fact. NASA says the longest total solar eclipse is set to happen. Hasn't happened yet, but it's going to be happening on July 16th, 2186. So sadly, I don't think any of us will be around to see that one. But
Come on,
hey,
You never know.
things are changing
Modern
so quickly.
science.
yes, maybe, or just like, be ready to tell the great grandkids, like, hey guys, this is happening. But Totality is supposed to last in that one for 7 minutes and 29
Wow.
seconds. And that one will be hitting in Colombia, Venezuela, and Guyana. So maybe a fun vacation down there to South America to go see that one.
Yeah, just book your tickets
Book now.
a little in advance. I wonder, do you get a special discount if you book like 170, 60 years in advance?
You should.
I think you should. I think you got to lock that in now. We've been seeing a lot of like price increase with people traveling to come
Yeah.
for Airbnbs and hotels.
That's
so I feel
true.
like now is a good time to book that flight.
I mean, some places were selling parking spots.
Yes.
That is just how much of a commodity it was to find a spot to be able to plant yourself to watch the eclipse.
Yeah, that way you didn't have to get stuck in that traffic. Head down a few days early. We saw a lot
Right.
of people flying in on Friday,
Yes,
even, right?
yes.
Airplanes full of people coming to the eclipse.
Well, and I had a woman message me on Facebook, hey, Chelsea, you remember meeting me a year ago on the plane? I was from North Carolina. Well, I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas, heading to watch the eclipse. I think she said in Hattieville. And then, of course, these people are staying a couple more days because they're taking advantage of our biking trails. So it just
Yes.
goes to show that it's not just a one-day event for a lot of people.
A great place to come and enjoy this beautiful weather. We're so glad
Yes.
that it was clear sky, well, clearish, thankfully.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No big clouds.
What's
We love
Dan been
that.
talking about for the last, 4 years?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
We don't want
Will the
clouds.
We don't want
will the
clouds. No, we got those high clouds. I didn't even know this. The high clouds are okay.
Are
The low
okay.
clouds you didn't want, but we lucked out today.
Well, we were just talking about all that traffic, you guys, and you got to stay with us because coming up after the break, Dave Parker from the Arkansas Department of Transportation is joining us live with a look at traffic conditions as the solar eclipse does near. But as we head to break, enjoy the sights and sounds from this fun eclipse event in Arkansas. Hi, Dave. Can you hear me? It's Chelsea Helms with KNWA. Hey, Dave. Can you hear me?
All right, I'm gonna.
joins us live now. Dave, tell us, what are some of the problem areas on Arkansas interstates that you're seeing right now in terms of that traffic backup?
We only have one traffic issue right now, and I can't say that it's Eclipse related. We had an accident about an hour and a half ago east of Alma on Interstate 40, Mulberry area exit, and it caused backup. That accident was cleared a long time ago, but the residual effect, it's still got about a 7-8 mile backup from Alma on east. So yes, we have that one issue. Can't say it's Eclipse related. Obviously, there's more traffic in, or people into town and that sort of thing. But that's about it right now. Otherwise, things are looking pretty good.
Well, that is good news, because we know a lot of people from Northwest Arkansas are traveling to the central portion of the state as a result of going to that path of totality. So tell us, what do you have for advice for these drivers who maybe are leaving these less populated areas, heading towards the areas that are going to be a lot busier?
If you're using the interstate or highway to get to that better viewing area, if you will, you should have probably left already. But if you're leaving now, just plan on a little slowdown. I think getting to your spot, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, except for the one area I mentioned, which is clearing up on Interstate 40. I think you're going to be all right. Now, as far as getting home tonight, our indications are that a lot of people are spending the evening. They've decided, hey, I'm going to really enjoy this historic moment. I'm going to stay through until Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. I hope that's the case. But in state, if you've got to get back home tonight, you may have a little bit of slowdown. So just be patient. And if that trip normally takes you an hour, it may take you 2 hours. But otherwise, things are looking good. We want people to have a good time. We want people to be safe.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people are staying in these areas to try to enjoy it as much as they can, and hopefully bring in some business to these communities that maybe don't see as much as we usually do, especially on a random Monday. Okay, Dave, really quickly, do you guys have extra crews on hand in the event that there are going to be an influx of accidents or anything like that?
Yes, we have. They're not extra crews. We have 1,800 or so maintenance workers statewide who normally would be out today, picking up debris, working on the roads, pothole repair, that sort of thing. They are now there, ready to go. If people get stranded, we have water, we have snacks, we have utility terrain vehicles that can maneuver in and out of any kind of traffic backup. Very similar to what we do during winter weather. There's a huge backup on Interstate 40 or 49. We've got to be able to get to them and help them. That's what those men and women are doing today.
Sounds like RDOT has you covered. Any final message for viewers as we get ready to head to break, Dave?
Enjoy this historic moment. I mean, it's a beautiful day. Have a good time. Be safe. Be patient going home. And hopefully this is something we all will remember.
Dave Parker with the Arkansas Department of Transportation joining us live. We thank him so much for his time. And I think I speak for him when I say do not drive with your glasses on. We'll be right back with more Solar Eclipse Live coming up next.
some food, chatting with their friends and family. Got some vendors here to my left. One of them was actually just giving away some solar eclipse glasses. Another one giving away some t-shirts, or rather selling them. And then also some snacks over there for people to enjoy. Now we're here to enjoy that solar eclipse. Now, although we're not in totality in the path of that, we are getting the partial eclipse. I just looked a few minutes ago and I see the moon, was just covering the sun. And I, for one, am so excited to see that partial eclipse. I got my glasses here just so that my eyes can stay safe while I look. But for now, while we wait, I'm going to send it back to you guys at that station live in Bentonville. Kayla Cade, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
And worth noting, I did look it up because we had a viewer call. Hey, if I wear regular glasses, can I put my solar eclipse glasses over the top? And according to NASA, you absolutely can.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Hey, do we have a shot of the eclipse we can take? I feel like we haven't seen it in a while.
I think
right behind us.
Wow.
Oh, this is over Russellville right now, you guys.
So look at that. I mean, it's pretty well covered out there. Probably noticing it's starting to get a little bit darker. And it just looks like someone took a big bite out of it.
So right now, this camera probably has a pretty special lens on it.
Yes.
So if I'm right, this would be kind of what it would look like if you had your glasses on right now and you were looking up, correct?
Like, you have to have a special lens, kind of like solar eclipse glasses for your cameras as well. So you don't want to be like taking out your iPhone and like, at least during totality you can.
Yeah.
Right.
But right now you wouldn't want to be doing that because you could burn out your
lens.
iPhone lens.
Just like your eye.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, hey, we got another solar eclipse trivia question for you. So pull out your phone again and scan this QR code and let us know what you think the answer is. When is the next total solar eclipse supposed to happen in the world? We got September 27th, 2053, December 22nd, 2031, or August 12th, 2026, which is actually pretty close. I mean, we were talking about the next longest one is going to be like 100 years from now. So, but this is the next one to happen in the world. So let us know what you think the question or answer to that question is. Scan that little QR code in the corner and we'll have the answer for you coming up later.
I'm stumped on this one because I know when it's going to happen in North America, but I hadn't looked up when it was happening in other parts of the world where you'd be able to see it.
And when was the next one in North America?
2045.
Okay, so with the preface of in the world, I think it's probably one of the shorter time periods, right? So I'm going to rule out that first option there.
I'm either 2026 or 2031. I may even go 2026.
Yeah. Well, hey, a lot of people were voting for that middle one. So, hey, we'll let you know the answer later in the show.
All right. We'll be right back with more Solar Eclipse Live coming up next. But as we head to break, here's that shot again from NASA over Russellville, Arkansas.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting real close here. Probably just about 20 minutes before some people start seeing totality.
How
So
exciting, you guys. I feel like this has been years in the making. Well, it has been because the last one was 2017.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
And some people have been waiting that whole time, including our very own Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. He's out in Russellville today, loving the air out there. Going to be a mass wedding. But Dan also, he's not just out there by himself. He's got a whole setup. What are we looking at here, Dan?
Yeah, Chad, Chelsea, Anna, I want to show you exactly what we got. First of all, I've got our family, and that's awesome. I got Callie, Cade, my wife, Jennifer, even our dog, Mercedes. But we've got also Mark Zimmer right there from California. I was talking with him earlier. We're getting ready for the Total Solar Eclipse. It's just like you said, Chad, about 20 minutes away. It is getting closer. You can kind of see it's getting a little bit darker, a little grayer. Let me give you an idea what we have. First of all, here's our whole setup. This is a live feed from a Dwarf Lab 2 telescope. You can see the sunspot on there. Now, this obviously is off of a cell phone, so you can see that sunspot that's beginning to get covered up. I'm going to switch the source and show you another feed, just kind of like NASA's. This is from an unistellar telescope, Equinox 2, and you're noticing that moon starting to eclipse the sun. Some of those sunspots on there. Now, watch this. I can actually digitally enhance this image, and you get to see even a better picture of the sun. So look at how crisp and clear that is. You can see the sunspot off in the distance. We are totally geared up here for totality. Again, what you're going to experience is 4 minutes and about 12 seconds or so in the Russellville area. I've seen some say about 4 minutes, 15 seconds. I think about 4 minutes, 12 seconds is going to be that eclipse. Now, it's starting to get a little grayer, a little darker. You can see we got an audience here. If you look off in the distance, that wedding is beginning to take place. And we've got Craig Wade Boyd, who is the winner, season 7 winner of The Voice. He's the officiant that's starting this wedding. And all those brides are going to be loving, probably, like I said before, the sun getting eclipsed. But I want to demonstrate exactly how a total solar eclipse occurs, and I think this is kind of cool. This is something that I got from a teacher as I went and talked at Shaw Elementary. This gives you an idea of kind of like the basically the distance between the sun, the moon, and the earth. So the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but at the same time, the sun is 400 times as far away from the moon. Let me demonstrate exactly how this total solar eclipse is going to occur. As we get into the sunlight, you're going to notice here, focus on that earth, Brad. As we look at totality, you're going to see the shadow of the moon passing over totality, which will be right about, it's kind of hard to line up. Here it comes. So there, oh, look at how it's a little different too. It's not a solid shadow like it was. But there we have the totality. See how that moon, the shadow of the moon races across the earth. That is the scale. That gives you an idea how the earth is really small compared to the sun, and the moon is even tinier. But we are so excited about totality. Again, that is a live view there of the sun that's taking place, and we're getting closer and closer to eclipse time. It's getting a little darker, a little grayer. I know in Northwest Arkansas, you're probably experiencing the same exact thing. But coming up, we're going to take a look here at Paris. We've got Brianna that is also in the path of totality, as she's just a little southwest of Mount Magazine, another great place to view this eclipse. Brianna, what are you experiencing, and what's the scene like there in Paris, Arkansas?
Hey, you guys, we are counting down the seconds to the big moment here in Paris, and we are so excited. I want to take a quick little pan really quickly. People are out here camping out right now. You can see people on their blankets, lawn chairs. They are completely spread out around the Eiffel Tower Park here in Paris, and we are so excited. I have met so many people from Sweden, Michigan. Some people have taken an over 20-hour drive just to be right here in Paris, Arkansas. And as you can see, people are lining the streets as we get ready for this big moment. But I have my special friend here, Miss Jan, who's actually going to show you guys a sign really quickly that she's been walking around saying, ask her why she is wearing red and green. Miss Jan, do you mind telling our viewers, why are you wearing red and green?
It's not Christmas in April in Paris. I am testing the Purkinje effect that happens because the rods and cones in our eyes have trouble perceiving colors when it gets dark very quickly, which happens during eclipse. So the reds will appear darker or black and greens get brighter. So we're going to test that out today. So I'm spreading a little science.
Oh
too.
yeah, now I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna be watching for you. Okay, but what are you most excited about for this solar eclipse?
Honestly, this is almost a once in a lifetime event here, and I'm excited to showcase our town. We have so much to be proud of. We work really hard to make it a good community, and we want to show it off. And so we welcome everyone to come out.
Well, that is awesome. So tell me, what influenced you to put together this outfit and test out that theory?
Well, I've helped the chamber with some meetings and things leading up to this. And so we did some research, and I came across that, and I thought that would be a really cool, and it's something that kids could identify with and get interested in. So we're trying to make it applicable for everyone.
That's awesome. And I mean, it's so many people from all over. And look at that. Look, it's just dropping. It's happening, right? This is literally getting me. But it's so many people from all over the world. How special is it that these people chose to come right here to Paris, Arkansas?
We are so proud of that. And we're, like I said, we're proud of our town, and we want to show it off. So we're happy to have everyone.
Yes.
And we hope they come back and visit too.
I know, that is so awesome. And it's actually pretty sweet that later on in the show, people will actually get to see a key that you guys made for us that we actually get to hang on the bridge. Isn't that so sweet? We can't bring it back to the station, but we're actually going to lock it up and literally throw away the key in the Eiffel Tower Park. So that is so excited. But thank you so much, Ms. Jan, for your time. We are having so much fun. I can't believe it's really happening. Thank you so much. Yes, let's put it's time. It's time. Well, you guys, we're going to finish getting ready and put on our glasses. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you at the desk.
Did you guys know there was a replica of the Eiffel Tower actually in Paris, Arkansas?
I didn't. I love that we get to do that little tradition and throw the key into the little fountain.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
No, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun out there. You know, I was reading, and you guys, you're going to see how much of a science mind I don't have as I continue talking and I make zero sense. But I was reading about how NASA is going to be launching something during the actual eclipse. And I think it's to measure the heat of the corona, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Yes.
And it's the only time that NASA is ever able to do this is whenever we do actually experience totality.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to learn more about that and hopefully be able to understand it a little more.
It's a fun event happening, but also a lot of learning, a lot of science and math, and a great opportunity, like she was saying, for the kids to get a tangible view of science and astronomy and what's happening in our out in their skies. So I love that.
Even my kids, they're at school today. They're not one of the lucky ones out of school, but they're taking all the kids outside to experience it. They've been learning about it in school. He's been so excited to come and tell me little things he's learning.
Oh my gosh.
Is there anything that Christians learned in school that maybe you didn't know?
Well, I just got a nice lesson all about the Arkansas state flag, unrelated to the eclipse, but about the eclipse, not yet, but I'm going to ask him all about it after he gets off school.
Probably today. I didn't know what that woman was talking about, the red and the green.
Yes.
That was
really cool.
very news to me. So.
Yeah. Hey, well, that's awesome. Well, hey, stick with us. Solar Eclipse Live. We'll be back after the break. We'll have more live coverage. Oh, it looks like, is that Totality happening? And I'm not sure. Okay, well, we'll be back after the break, y'all.
Oh, I think it is Totality because look, you can see the moon all the way, but that could also be clouds. Here's Caryville, Texas.
Solar Eclipse Live, a special presentation.
Welcome back. It's 1:40, just minutes away from the total solar eclipse. I can't believe we're almost here.
We're almost here, but we are not in the path of totality, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in Northwest Arkansas. But you guys, people, still making the best out of it. We've seen Bentonville. What was that called? The
Celebration.
Celebration
Yeah.
on the square. Something going on in Fayetteville is happening at the Botanical Garden of the Ozarks. That's where our Casey Smith is joining us live from. And Casey, this is a really unique spot to be able to see the partial totality because of the flowers and the trees around us. So hopefully you can clear a little more of that information up for us.
Yeah, hey y'all, it's real gorgeous out here, just especially with all the flowers. I can't see anything. I take these off a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful. We're starting to get a little bit dim here. As you mentioned, we're a couple minutes away. I'm here with Lane Berry with the Botanical Gardens. Lane, I mean, just about this event, I mean, what a turnout we had.
I know. We were expecting about this number. We've a little bit exceeded our expectations. We ran out of the 500 glasses that Experience Fayetteville so graciously gave us. So yeah, we've got a great turnout here.
Yeah, and I mean, let's put these glasses on for a second. Just taking a look here at the moon. I mean, just
It's almost there.
What an
It's almost
awesome
there.
sight.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's great.
This is just a great experience for people. I mean, maybe coming out for their first time.
Yeah.
Maybe they experienced 2017.
Yep.
There's just an awesome experience for
Yep.
some of their families.
Yeah, it's definitely like a historical event, especially for the little kids. It's been fun to see them get all excited about it. So yeah, we're glad people could also enjoy the garden as they're enjoying the eclipse.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know it's starting to get a little bit dim here. I mean, have you ever experienced anything like this?
I have never experienced anything like this, no, but I'm glad to be part of it today. Yeah.
That's for sure. And I mean, what does it mean? I mean, knowing that there was a couple that got engaged here earlier today, making a real special moment.
I'm glad that the garden is going to be part of a really special memory for all the people here today, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I know we were talking about Fayetteville Public Schools being out of school today. There's a ton of families here really soaking in the event. Lane, thank you very much for the time. From Fayetteville, we'll send things back to you.
Love to see such a great crowd still celebrating here in Northwest Arkansas. Even if we're not in the path of totality, a lot of kids out there enjoying it, and still a great learning experience for them.
And what's cool is they got engaged at the Botanical Garden of the Ozarks, and a lot of people opt to have their weddings there. So maybe they're going to get married in the same location.
Full circle
that
there.
would be so fun.
Full eclipse.
Love it. All right. Well, hey, let's get over to our answer to our trivia question. When is the next total solar eclipse happening in the world? I know we were kind of bouncing around between the more closer dates, maybe B or C. Looks like people kind of lean that way too. The answer is August 12th, 2026 is C.
That was my choice.
You know, only in a couple years.
Couple more years. Not bad.
But the totality path for this eclipse will be over the Arctic, Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain.
Wow.
So maybe like get a boat and just like head out to the Pacific
Just
Ocean
roll up.
and just hang out there. I feel like that's your best bet.
It would be a lot of fun to be able to travel to another country, to be able to experience the total solar eclipse, but not to be a Debbie Downer. But could you imagine spending all the money to go and see something and then having a lot a lot of cloud cover so
That
maybe
would
you
be
can't
so
see it?
unfortunate.
You know, we're so worried about that here. We do have clouds out there. Luckily, they're those high clouds. You'll still get a view. But Dan was saying he's met people from other parts, not just this country, but other parts of the world too.
Poland, he said.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And I know I had seen people who I know from other parts of the country. They were coming to Arkansas. A lot, my family in the path of totality in northern New York and then Burlington, Vermont. So I was telling my aunt, hey, you should watch our solar eclipse live show. She said, I'm going to be watching the solar eclipse on my balcony. So probably not. But.
Yeah. My family back in Indianapolis, I know my aunt and uncle were like, we're just going to sit on our front lawn and watch it.
Well, they were talking about like 50,000 people were going to go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which was in the path of totality.
That would be so
Such
fun.
a cool event, such a cool place to be to experience it. And we're so blessed that this this eclipse went right through the heart of America. So many people could experience it.
You know, my family's in Arizona. They're like, oh, there's an eclipse tomorrow. I don't know. Okay, whatever.
They're more focused on the Final Four at this point, right?
Yeah, they got a big crowd for other reasons.
Exactly
obviously.
right. Well, let's take a look at another NASA camera if we're able to pull that up. Look at this. This is over Dallas, Texas. And
it looks like we might be seeing the diamond
ring
right there. You see a little bit of it in the top right corner.
All right, this is beautiful. We'll be right back with more Solar Eclipse Live next.
We are minutes away from totality. Just look at the scene. It's kind of eerie. There's kind of like a little bit of a grayish sky. We got a drone that's in the air. You notice there's some high clouds off in the distance. Now, I'm going to take on these eclipse glasses. This is about what Northwest Arkansas is experiencing as we have just a little sliver of the sun left. Unfortunately, our truck was not able to send this video, but I want you to pan around to your left here, or to your right, Brad, if you can, slowly. We're going to pan around to the right, kind of get a scene of everything. Everybody's kind of looking up. We're getting close to totality. There you see off in the distance, that's how much sun is left of the sliver of the sun. Don't forget to take off those solar filters, Cabe. He's got it, because you can take the solar filters off after you have reached totality. But man, we are so close, literally minutes away. So here's what's happening. The temperature's dropping. Everything's kind of getting a little bit calm. It's not super bright out. I know it's dark where you're at. You can see the darkness kind of unfolding. Let me go ahead and grab a colander just to show you these crescents. This is what I've always telling people about crescents. We're looking for shadow bands too with a white backdrop. But look at the crescents right here. See those tiny little crescents? You can really see it off a backdrop right here. Tiny little crescents with a colander. And so that's such a cool thing, especially when you hold it away. And you can see hey, it's okay. My wife and daughter, here we go. We're getting close to totality. Everybody kind of pan up. It's getting dark. Oh my goodness. We are almost there. Now, see, this is bright. If you look at the sun without your eclipse glass, it's still bright, and that's what you're experiencing in partial eclipse. But we're in the path of totality. We're in Russellville at the soccer complex. We are approaching 150 at the point of totality. Look, you can just see a few slivers. You could actually see some of the Bailey's beads now showing. We're getting dark. We are now, look, you can even see the Bailey's beads if you look at that screen and zoom in. All those little peaks are blocking out the sun. We're getting close. There's the diamond ring. And now we have totality. Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh, look, you can see the planets. We've got the planets. Absolutely. I'm seeing if I can see that comet. Comet 12P. Oh my goodness, is that amazing? I don't know if you're getting a view of that. Brad, I want you to pan up and take video of that. Look at the prominences. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can see it. I got to snap a photo of this. I know we only have limited time. That is incredible. Look at those. Oh, wow. Wow. It is just absolutely spectacular. Such a short time. Wow, look at those prominences. That is incredible. We are recording this. Oh, man, is that amazing. Wow, beautiful. Oh, the corona is huge. It's a lot bigger than it was in 2017. Absolutely spectacular. Are we having any kind of feed of the eclipse right now? Look at the sunset, too. You can see the sunset all along the horizon. And Brad, if you could just pan up and zoom in and get video of that. Oh, it's incredible. That is awesome. Look at the prominence on the bottom side of the sun. Oh, man, that is incredible. That truly is amazing. Callie, are you getting photos?
I am getting
Okay, good. That is beautiful. Now, I'm able to see several planets. I can't see Saturn, but I can see Mars. I can also see Jupiter, but I'm not able to see that comet Pan-STARRS. I'm gonna be quiet here for a little bit and enjoy this. There is a solar flare on the bottom of that sun. That is incredible. Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow. I just can't describe. Now, we've got Robin that's videoing it. I know we've got the NASA feed. It is incredible. You can really see those prominences on that solar filter. Kate, you can pan down on this just a little bit. So you go to move. Yeah, move. We'll just pan down here just a little bit. Get that sun fully in view. Wow. That is just gorgeous. I'm going to take a photo of that. Wow. I'm going to enjoy this here. Look at the prominence on the bottom side of the sun. I can't believe how bright that is. Okay, we're getting close here. The shadow's starting to return. Oh, man, I just can't get over how amazing and beautiful it is. An amazing creation. Wow. Look at the side prominence, too. Wow, that is insane. A prominence, by the way, is a filament, if you will, that's ejecting from the sun, off of the sun, and you can actually see it with your own eyes. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, we're getting close to we're getting close to the end of totality. Here comes the diamond ring. Here comes the diamond ring. There it is. Bright diamond ring. Now you got to put your eclipse glasses back on. Wow. And there you go. 4.5, nearly 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes of totality. Wow. And now it's brightening up again. Temperature is going to be returning. And I just can't describe that. It's just incredible to see in person. I hope you guys got to witness it, because I know we were looking up. I don't think we had a camera feed locally on it, but wow, incredible. Kay, do you have the solar filter on the telescopes? Okay, we're going to put those solar filters on. Chad, Chelsea, I know I was going crazy, but it is just beautiful to see. It really, truly is. Wow. It's amazing.
It's funny.
What did you guys see in the studio? Did you guys get to see the feed?
It looks like our feed might be a little bit delayed from what you're seeing out there. You look bright and sunny again already, and we're still seeing the eclipse kind of move through. We're curious, we saw the beads. We saw the diamond rings starting to form there. What, in your opinion, what was the most awe-inspiring moment there?
I got to say, honestly, on the bottom limb of the sun, you can actually see a bright flare that's shooting off the sun. It wasn't a coronal mass ejection, but it was a bright flare, and I think scientists are going to be talking about that. Also, we could witness a lot of them on the telescope. That telescope was awesome. I got a lot of photos that I'll be sharing on the news tomorrow for sure. But those high clouds cleared out. It was beautiful. I'm just so thankful that we were able to see it. So thankful that we're here in Russellville. Blessed to have my family here. I would say the diamond ring is gorgeous. I did not see the double diamond ring. I'll have to ask some people around here if they saw it. Of course, we're working with a lot of equipment and stuff. But I did stop. I did enjoy it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Brianna, I want to hear from your experience for the first time being in totality. You let me know if it was worth it and what you thought as people experienced that in Paris, Arkansas.
Can we tell the solar system to maybe do that again? You guys, I think I'm standing here in like complete shock. The fact that it was that dark in the middle of the day. I mean, I'm gonna just take a step back so you can kind of see everybody already beginning to head out. But you guys, that moment was surreal. I'm so glad I had the chance to capture it on the camera as well as my phone. But as soon as it got dark, the entire city just seemed to let out this big roar that just sent chills up my body, because it just showed how exciting. Wasn't it absolutely amazing? Here comes the sun. Exactly. It was absolutely amazing, you guys. It was a surreal experience. I think I might need it one more time, but it was just great to just kind of see how the temperature dropped and just see how powerful the sun is. You guys, we have had a great time, but people are already running to their cars to try to beat that traffic. But surreal experience, amazing time here in Paris today. But for now, I'm gonna send it back over to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brianna. We still have Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff with us. Dan, I was listening to a podcast today which had Mr. Eclipse himself, one of the most famous astronomers in the entire world. And I know Dan actually had a chance to interview him. I think it was last week. One of the things that he had said, Dan, that really hit me was how every eclipse is different. And I think he's seen the most out of anyone known to man. So would you say that there was a major difference between some of the eclipses, the total eclipses you've seen in the past, and this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I will say that, number one, it did get a lot darker than it did in 2017, and that was expected because the moon's shadow is a lot wider, nearly double the width, almost the 120 miles in diameter across. I'll also say the corona was beautiful. It was different than it was in 2017. It was a lot bigger, of course, because we're in solar cycle 25 as we get to that maximum. And some of the prominences, I have never seen that. It almost looked like a bright yellow orangish blowtorch at the bottom of the sun as you're looking at it. And that is that solar flare, that filament of plasma. And you got to remember, our sun is a ball of fire. But in an eclipse, you get to see a different side of the sun that you can't see anywhere else unless you're in that totality area. So, yeah, Fred Espenek, he is Mr. Eclipse himself for sure. And I think that's incredible that, you know, he gets to witness another eclipse. Everybody else, we'll get some reaction, see what everybody thought about being in the path of totality. Chelsea, Chad, Anna, you've got to do it. It's incredible. Like we said, totality or bust.
And we look forward to bringing you that reaction coming up tonight on KWA News at 5, 6, and 10, and on Fox 24 News at 5:30 and 9.
Yes, definitely. But hey, everybody, make sure you drive safe. Take your time as you're leaving these areas.
Take these off on the road.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't need them anymore. Put them away.
Yes, definitely be careful as you're driving home tonight.
Absolutely. Hopefully you all got a spectacular show out there. We got really lucky with the weather. We weren't sure if
did.
it was going to turn out like this. Absolutely beautiful. I know we snuck outside, caught a glimpse of the partial eclipse.
Yes.
So overall, wonderful time.
We were so happy to have you with us for Solar Eclipse Live. We hope you'll join us tonight for KWA News and Fox 24. We'll see you tonight.
Have a great night.
Good night.